So students, today we will start the topic compound interest without using formula. Remember, compound interest without formula means we will use the property of interest only, concept of compound interest only to calculate the compound interest. Okay. So what are the properties of compound interest? What is the meaning of compound interest? First, we must know about this. What is the meaning of compound interest? Okay. Before starting the meaning of compound interest, before discussing the meaning of compound interest, we must understand some terms related to banking, like principal. One principal is that who is managing your school. That principal is different. Now this principal is different. Principal means the amount which is deposited in a bank. So write the definition also. The amount deposited in a bank or to a person or is lent, means is taken as a loan, is lent to a person or from a person or from a bank as loan. The amount deposited in a bank or to a person. Okay, the amount deposited to a bank or to a person or is lent to a person or from a person or from a bank as loan is called the principal. Means if we go to a bank and deposit rupees 10,000, then this is the principal. For example, write the example also. If we deposit rupees 10,000 in a bank, then principal is rupees 10,000. Write the statement. If we deposit rupees 10,000 in a bank, principal is rupees 10,000. We denote the principal by capital P. Principal is rupees 10,000. So always remember the amount means money. This amount is different from that amount which we will discuss in terms of banking. Again, okay. So don't be confused for this. Amount means rakam, money. Okay, capital, money. This time, the amount deposited in a bank or to a person or is lent to a person or from a person or from a bank as loan is called principal. If we deposit rupees 10,000 in a bank, then principal is rupees 10,000. So this is the very important term related to the banking. We are first discussing the terms related to the banking only. Second thing, when we deposit the sum of money, that is amount in a bank, it must be deposited for some time. That is called time only. Time means the time which is for which the sum is deposited. Time means the time for which the sum is deposited. Time for which, the second important thing is time. The time for which sum or the amount. Sum means money, amount means money. Is deposited means principal is deposited. Okay. Sum or amount, that is principal, is deposited. For example, if we deposit this rupees 10,000 for 3 years, then time is 3 years. Okay, t equals to, we denote the time by t. So write example also. For example, if rupees 10,000 in above example is deposited for 3 years, then t equals to 3 years. Time is denoted by capital T. Okay. If P equals to rupees 10,000 is deposited for 3 years, T equals to 3 years. Okay, everyone. Now, one more thing to remember. If interest is paid annually, things to remember. If interest is paid annually, time equals to number of years only. Secondly, if the interest is paid half yearly, it is written in the question. It must be written in the question directly. If interest is paid half yearly or sometimes semi-annually. Okay. If the interest is paid half yearly or semi-annually, then T equals to 2 into number of years. In above example, then time becomes 2 into 3. In given example, time equals to, and in pace of 6 years, then we write it as 6 terms. As half yearly means in 1 year, half year takes place 2 times. Half year takes place twice in a year. So in 3 years, it will take place 3 into 2, 6 times. Okay. Understood everyone? Otherwise, write in comment box. If you have not understood the meaning of 6 terms, 6 terms means 6 half yearly terms. We know that in 1 year, there will be 2 times half years. Half years will take place twice. So in 2 years, it will take place 4 times. And in 3 years, it will take place 6 times. Okay. Okay, students. So if interest is paid annually, time equals to number of years. If interest is paid half yearly or semi-annually, time equals to 6 terms, which is obtained by multiplying 2 to the number of years. Third point, if interest is paid quarterly, remember, if interest is paid quarterly or 3 monthly or so it is written that if interest, I'm writing also, you have to also write in your notes. If interest is paid, make a separate notebook for the notes. Whenever your exams are there, if you read the notes once and start solving the questions, they will help you a lot. So prepare the notes in proper writing. if interest is paid quarterly or sometimes written 3 monthly or once in a quarter means the same, 1/4 in a year. All these words you will find in the questions. Then time will be obtained by 4 into number of years. Why? As quarter takes place 4 times in a year. We know that 4 times, 3 months. 1 quarter equals to 3 months, 1/4 of a year. 1/4 of 12 months, that is 3 months. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, 4 times in a year. So if number of years is 2, then it will be 2 into 4, 8 terms. If number of years is 3, then it will be 4 into 3, that is 12 terms. Okay. In given example, we have taken the time as 3 years. So number of quarters, what will be the number of quarters? 4 into 3 terms, that is 12 terms. Means in 3 years, interest will be calculated 12 times. Once in a 3 month, then in next 3 months, then in next 3 months, then in next 3 months. Means in 1 year, we have calculated the interest in 4 times. Then 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. In 2 years, 8 times. So it will be always greater. As in compound interest, interest is always calculated on the interest. So the next thing which is very important after discussion of principal and the time, I think you must have understood the meaning of principal and the time. The next important thing is rate of interest, denoted by R. Rate of interest. Rate of interest means percentage profit which bank pays to us or charged on us on our loan. Okay, or the same thing about the principal. Principal is deposited and bank pays some profit to us. Okay, so this is rate of interest. Rate of interest means the percentage profit. Rate of percentage of profit which the bank pays to us for depositing the principal in bank, or the rate of profit the bank charged on us when we take loan from the bank. Write in your notebook. The rate of profit percent which the bank pays for keeping the amount that is principal deposited. With it. For example, if bank pays rate of interest as 10%, it is denoted by R. Capital R or small r, we can use any one of them. In compound interest, mostly small r is used. Okay. Understood everyone? If rate of interest is 10%, means principal is 10,000. In 1 year, 10% per annum means the rate it pays per annum. The rate is always decided by bank on per annum, whether it pays it quarterly or it pays it annually or it pays it half yearly in all the cases. But one thing is to remember. Again, things to remember. So what is the first case? when interest is taken yearly. Interest is taken yearly. Then rate of interest equals to rate of interest percent per annum. Secondly, interest is paid semi-annually, then it will be multiplied by half. If interest is paid by the bank or the loan, remember I have given you the definition only for the amount, or you have to understand that charged on loan is also the same thing which I have discussed. Interest is paid half yearly. Then rate percent equals to half into rate percent per annum. Thirdly, if interest is paid quarterly, if interest is paid quarterly, then rate of interest is 1/4 the rate percent per annum. So write everything and learn everything. This is the interest. And fourth thing is interest only. Interest. Sometimes simple interest is paid and sometimes compound interest is paid. Okay. Interest means the profit on principal, whether paid or charged by the bank. If loan is taken, bank charges the profit. If principal is deposited, bank pays the profit. Both of them are interest. And formula for interest, simple interest. We know that formula for simple interest is PRT upon 100. This is the formula for simple interest. And the other thing is compound interest. Simple interest means when interest is charged at once. Interest is charged at once on whole sum, lump sum for whole time period. Means if money is deposited for 3 years in our example, so simple interest will be very easy to calculate. Principal 10,000, rate of interest 10, time 3 over 100. Zeros will be cancelled out. 1000 into 3, rupees 3000 will be paid by the bank. Okay. And compound interest means what? Now there will be difference. Compound interest means when interest is charged at the end of each term. Why I have used each term? Means this time can be yearly or semi-annually or quarterly. In all the conditions, the tax when interest is charged at the end of each year, when interest is charged at the end of each term and added to the principal and the sum, that is principal plus interest. Actually it is called amount. Principal plus interest, which is also called amount. I will discuss it in next topic. Next point also, amount will be the last point, which is related to the interest. When interest is charged at the end of each term and added to the principal and the sum, that is principal plus interest, which is called amount for first term, is taken as principal for the next term. principal for the next term, and then the process is repeated again. That is, interest on interest is called compound interest. Means in previous case, in simple interest, interest is charged only on the principal. But in compound interest, at the end of each term, the principal changes. In case of simple interest, principal remains the same for 3 years. But in case of compound interest, it changes after each term. So how to solve for the previous example? For example, the given example we have taken, principal as rupees 10,000. So for first term, first of all, we solve it for first term. Look at this example. Principal is equal to rupees 10,000. Rate of interest is 10%. Now time, what is the time? Time is 3 years, है ना? But no, we will take time as only 1 year. First, as in our calculation, when interest is charged at the end of each term, first we take interest at the end of each term. So it is term means the terms are also yearly term. In the question which we are discussing, for simplification, only the yearly term. Okay, principal is rupees 10,000, rate of interest 10%, time is 1 year. So if we find the interest, formula for interest, I1 means for first term, interest for first year. P1 means principal for first term. I1 means interest for first term. Formula is P1 RT upon 100. Now P1 is 10,000. Rate of interest 10. Time is 1 over 100. Zeros will be cancelled out. So rupees 1,000 is the interest for first term. Now I have told you, first of all, this will be added to the principal, and that amount is called as amount after 1 year. A1 means amount. Amount means the sum which is obtained by adding principal to the interest. Okay. So amount after 1 year is principal for first year plus interest for first year. That is 10,000 plus 1,000 equals to rupees 11,000. Now for the next year, means for the second year, for the second term, principal is equal to amount for the first term, that is rupees 11,000. So the main difference between simple interest and compound interest is that in simple interest, principal is rupees 10,000 for next year also. That's why we have calculated it at once. But in compound interest, principal changes now. It is 1,000 more than the principal for the previous year. For first year, principal was only rupees 10,000, but for the next year, principal is rupees 11,000. Means bank has to pay interest for rupees 1,000, which was the interest for the first term. Means interest on the interest is called the compound interest. Okay, everyone. So if we learn the theory about the compound interest and simple interest properly, if we learn the meaning of compound interest and simple interest properly, if we learn to differentiate between simple interest and compound interest, then it is very easier to solve the questions related to compound interest. Okay. So what will be the principal for second year? It is 11,000. Rate of interest is still the same, 10%. Time is again the 1 year only. Interest for the second year is denoted by I2, which is P2 RT upon 100. That is 11,000 into 10 into 1 over 100. 2 zeros will be cancelled out. This time, the interest is rupees 100 more than the interest received for the previous. Why? This is the interest for this rupees 10,000. 10,000, 10% of 1,000. We know that is 100 only. Is that clear to you? The interest for first year was 1,000. So 10% of 1,000 is rupees 100. So this 100 is increased in the interest of second year due to the increase in the principal by 1,000, which was the interest for the first term. So this time interest is more than the interest for the previous year, and the amount will also be more. It will be obtained when we add the principal for next year 11,000 with the interest, that is amount will be rupees 12,100. Okay, then for third term, what happens for third term? For third term, this amount which we have calculated for the second term becomes the principal for the third term. And remember, in the case of simple interest, it is only 10,000. That's why compound interest is always profitable for an institute, for an individual. Always compound interest is profitable than simple interest. Okay, for an institution when it pays the loan, for an individual when he deposits some money in the bank. Okay, but if we take a loan and its amount is calculated by compound interest, we have to pay more loan. This is then creating the loss, है ना? But this is the rule. So rate is 10%. Time is 1 year again. Interest for third year is P3 RT over 100. Principal for third year is 12,100. Rate of interest 10. Time is 1 over 100. So again the interest increases. Previous year it was 1,100. This time it is rupees 1,210. So this 110 rupees is due to the interest on this rupees 1,100. 10% of 1,100 is rupees 110. So which has been increased? Means principal was increased by rupees 110. If you add 12,100 plus 110, means if you add 1,100, which is the principal for second year, to the principal on this 1,100, then means interest on this 1,100, that is rupees 110. 1,100 plus 110 is 1,210. So the final amount after 3 years will become P3 plus I3. That is principal is 12,100 plus rate of interest 1,210. In all, it is rupees 13,310. And total interest record is I1 plus I2 plus I3. All the three interests are added. 1,000 for first year, 1,100 for second year, and for third year it is 1,210. That is rupees 3,310. So one method to find the interest is this, and the other method to find the interest is if we subtract principal from the final amount, it will also be the same. 13,310 minus 10,000, that is rupees 3,310. Okay, so this is the theory of banking. Amount equals to sum paid by bank on completion of the time. If we have deposited the sum for 3 years, it's some point at simple interest, bank will pay how much? Rupees 10,000 plus 3,000 means only 13,000 to us. But if we have deposited the money on compound interest, bank will pay 3,310, means 310 rupees more than that which it has paid in case of simple interest. So the compound interest is always greater than simple interest. Okay. So after writing this complete theory, after discussing this complete theory, I will send you in PDF also. We will now discuss the questions related to compound interest. For this, I have posted a sheet. You can watch at it. A person invests rupees 5,600. So this is the principal for first term at 8% per annum. Compound interest for 2 years. Calculate interest for the first year. So first we write for, this is the solution for first year. Principal, which is denoted by P, is rupees 5,600. Rate of interest 8% per annum. Time 1 year only. As we are calculating for first year. First year means only 1 year. Second year is also only 1 year. Third year is also only 1 year. Understood? Time is only 1 year. So it is P1. And interest is obtained by the simple formula P1 RT upon 100. Don't write it simple interest. It is interest for first year. Though is calculated using the formula of principal, simple interest. P1 is 5,600 into rate of interest is 8 into time 1 over 100. 56 8s are 448 rupees. So this is the principal, as this is the interest for first year, rupees 448. Interest for the first year is the first answer which we have to calculate. Second, the interest for the second year. So we have to then calculate amount. This is first answer. After which we have started calculating amount after 1 year is principal for first year plus interest for first year. That is 5,600 plus 448 equals to rupees 6,048. And then we start calculating for second year. As we have already discussed, principal for second year is same as amount after 1 year. That is rupees 6,048. Rate of interest will remain the same, 8% per annum. Time is again for second year also, the time is only 1 year. Second year is also the single year. Second year is also the single year. Okay. So we again write it as 1 year. And then we calculate the interest for second year denoted by I2. Everything we have written in this heading for second year. P2 RT upon 100 will be there again. Now principal is 6,048, rate of interest 8, time is 1 over 100. So multiply it to get the answer. 8 8 is 64, 4 carry 6, 8 4 is 32 plus 6, 38, carry 3. Say 8 6 is 48. Decimal after 2 digits. So rupees 483.84, which is greater than 448, is the principal for next year. Okay, rupees 483.84 is the interest for second year which we have to calculate. The interest for 2 years means what? So this is the second answer. Okay. And in third part, we have to find interest for 2 years means the sum of both the interest. Interest for 2 years equals to I1 plus I2. I1 is 448. Okay. I1 is 448 plus I2 is 483 0.84. Add them 931.84. Check the calculation. So this is the third answer. Fourth part. In fourth part, we have to find what? Amount at the end of 2 years. We already have not calculated it. So amount after 2 years is principal for 2 years plus interest for second year only. Principal for 2 year is 6048 plus interest for second year is 483.84. So add it to get the next answer. 6531, I think, 0.84 rupees. Don't forget to write the symbol for rupees if it is in rupees. If it is in dollar, you have to write dollar. If it is in rand, you have to write rand. If it is in ruble, you have to write ruble, and so on. Is that clear to you? As we are Indian, so we are doing all the transactions in rupees. So if anyone has doubt, so you can write in comment box, and I will send you the link also. So subscribe the channel and share with others also. Other can also take the advantage of the video.